In this podcast episode, I'm going to talk to you about how I develop my goals, who I listen to or who I watch on YouTube, and why it's crucial for you to be careful of on who you listen to. Stay tuned. And welcome back to a new podcast episode. This is the first episode that I'm using this Rode PSA 1 boom arm hooked up to my preamp, which is a Rodecaster Pro, which is also driven by a cloud lifter. I don't know if I said those things in the right order, but this is a new setup. For those watching on YouTube, you're looking at me, so I'm kind of pointing at the Rodecaster and the boom arm. If you're on audio, well, it should sound better because I'm able to sound louder without introducing more noise into the audio interface. So let me know in the DM, in the email, in the somewhere, in the review on iTunes if this sounds any better at all. This I'm gonna post this one raw, meaning not edited afterwards. Usually I take it into Adobe Audition and edit it, but this time I'm not, just to see how it sounds. If there's any big difference, I'm gonna raise up my mic a bit here. All right, so let's get started with this episode. Sorry for the drawn out intro. It's going to be a short one, going to be impactful one on you have to learn from the right people in to really take your business where you want it to go. So basically is I'll give you a quick analogy of like, let's say that you want to be in the NBA, NFL, and will be any, top tier Premier League of any sports, right? Any sport that you want. I'm in America, so NFL, MLB, and NBA. And you are doing your best. You're training every day, whatever. Right? You're doing what it is to think that you have to be at the premier level of playing whatever sport. But in actuality, you are paying attention to, let's say, you want to be an NBA, but you're putting a lot of your emphasis learning and watching collegiate level baseball, right, or basketball, and you are just focused on, or not even that. Let's say you're focused on some pickup game over there down the street, right? Whereas if you want to go at the NBA level, you have to be thinking, acting, and surrounding yourself around people that want to be at the elite NBA level game, right? That want to push themselves, that will do what it takes to get that at the next level, to improve everything that they can, to make sure that they're that they're doing well in college, that they're doing well in drafting, that they're going to do right. You get the point. Where I'm not going to get too technical into that whole process of what happens, but you get the point. If you want to be at the NBA level game, at an all-star level, at the professional level, you practice, act, and surround yourself around people that are on that same path, right? That that are doing that just are doing everything right. Doesn't mean you're going to make it, but nonetheless, at least you're putting all the chips in your favor, or at least as much as you can, to make it to that professional level, right? And the same thing can be applied to your detailing business, right? If you know, right, you want to really grow a business and make, this isn't a bad thing, but to make the most money that you can, right? Have the biggest impact, have the best financial free or financial stability for yourself and your family and your future, and whatever else you want to do. Well, then who are you watching, or who are you emulating, or who do you look up to that has that lifestyle that is what you want, right? So I don't know if I've mentioned this on a podcast before, but I know I've mentioned this plenty of times on my Instagram stories and on my YouTube videos. So if you're not following me on Instagram at Proper Care, and YouTube is Diesel Groove. But basically, it's like I get asked every now and then. It's like, hey, I'm gonna lower this a little bit more. Who do you listen to? Who do you listen? What detailers do you watch, or who are your favorite detailers? And when I get asked that, I always preface like, this isn't to sound arrogant or rude or disrespectful, or anything other than like, it's just a flat out truth of like, I don't really watch detailers. I don't pay attention to detailers. I do not go on YouTube to watch detailing videos. I haven't done that for at least 3-4 years now. I don't really have a favorite detailer because I don't watch reviews. I don't watch other detailers. Like, I just don't. Again, not coming from a place of arrogance of I know more, but who I watch is where I want to be, of who I want to emulate, and not just who, but the company that they built, right? So if I want, let's say, a 5 billion per year company, right? Is it smart for me to pay attention to someone that works out of their home garage, that is mobile, that's been mobile for the past 15 years on their own, that makes $110,000 per year by themselves. If I want a 5 million per year business, right? Does it make sense for me to follow or pay attention or kind of or do what they do if they're nowhere near where I want to be, right? So when someone asks like, "Hey, who do you watch? What detailer kind of who do you learn from?" It's like on the detailing side, no one, right? And not to say no one. Actually, the main person I do look at is Jason from Chicago Auto Pros slash Cars Supplies Warehouse. Of course, I watch his content because it's and I don't watch like the content of like him restoring a vehicle. Like I don't really care about that. Not that I don't care about that, but as far as like, am I gonna spend my free time watching a YouTube video on restoring a vehicle? No. But on the business side, on what they're doing, of course, I pay attention to that. So in that regard, it's probably gonna be Jason. That's probably the only person that I really look to, that I pay attention to on YouTube and stuff on what they're doing with their business because they have a sizable business. But that's about it. On the detail side, that's really about it. Because again, on the other side, it's like I watch many, many, many other companies or individuals that run their companies that are not in the detailing space, right? Um, and that's how it is. So I'll give you two instances just because I don't want to go too far into a rabbit hole. But for instance, Nick Bear from Bear Performance Nutrition, I think they're like at 20 million per year. I think they have like 30 staff, right? That's someone I'd like to emulate, right? Because that's the level I'd like to be at. Not working on my by myself at a home garage for the next 10 years. Like that would bore me, right? Like if that bores me, that creates no excitement for me, right? I'll give you a different example. Is Noah Kagan? I've been following him since like 2013. He has a 100 million per year business based out of Austin, Texas. They have over 80 employees, I believe, and that's something that I really like to, right? I follow literally every single company product that he launches. It's like I follow everything because I want to learn all the ins and outs. The same thing with Nick Bear and his company, Bear Performance Nutrition. I follow every single individual in that company because every time they post a story, it lets me see into the insights of what they're doing inside the company, right? And that sounds like, oh, you follow I literally follow it. When they tag someone in their company, I will follow that person because I want to see what they're posting about on a daily basis about their operations. Okay, I got Noah Kagan with AppSumo slash Sumo, which it's a 100 million per year business. Like I pay attention to everything that he says, every live, every Instagram live, every YouTube live. I'm always there. The Facebook group, I'm always there. Nick Bear with Bear Performance Nutrition. I'm there all the time too, and not so much focus on I use his products, but it's not so much the product. It's like how are you hiring? How are you running the business? How much are you spending on marketing? How are you dividing your time? How are you still able to run 80 miles a week, work out 5 times per week, and still run a 20 million per year business? And then another one is like Linus Tech Tips, right? He has 14 million subscribers. He doesn't disclose his revenue, which is fine. But they have, I think, around 45 to 55 employees right now. I think they have like a 30,000 square foot facility, and all they do is make YouTube videos, right? So that's something I aspire to be, right? Even the way that we've created our process, because now I have I'm still training our editor, but we have editors, so I don't edit. I edit maybe half the videos now, because right now we're posting around 6 to 8 videos per week, and eventually I'd like to get that to 10 videos per week. And can I do that all by myself? No, of course not. So I have an editor, and the way that Linus Tech Tips handles his entire video creation process, I've definitely emulated a lot of that because they post I don't know, like 10, 15 videos per week, and they have like each video gets around 1 million views on their main channel, not including the other 3, 4 channel that they run. So that's what I mean. So imagine if I was just watching another YouTuber that is by himself, creates 3, 4 videos a day, all by himself every single time, and it's like, so you see where I'm getting at, where who you watch and what you listen and the type of information that you acquire will greatly dictate the type of business and operation that you run, right? So for me, I am very, 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 very not supportive, but I am on the side of always hiring, right? Like I would rather make less money, not buy anything fancy, not buy a new vehicle, not buy the new thing that I want. But if I could put that money towards hiring someone to help me keep on moving more faster and farther, then I would 100% do that, right? Like by now, could I have gone and bought a new, I don't know, whatever it is, a new truck, a bigger apartment, a bigger, I don't know, I don't really like stuff. I don't know. I'm not like a materialistic guy, but could I go buy a horse spine or something? Yes, like I could, like an actual physical horse, I could. What I'm saying is, like I would rather put that money in people to help me do more things that I need to do to expand faster, to move faster, to do more things. And that comes from watching those other people that say, "Hey, we're always hiring. Building a team is important. Doing this is important. Not staying by yourself, expanding, taking risks. Doing things then bigger than what you thought it was." Right. Another one that comes to mind, real quick, just to share with you guys, is like Christian Guzman from Alpha Elite, Alpha Land, from Stafford, Texas. Right. The point is that I'm not out of disrespect, out of arrogance, out of ignorance, or anything like that. But like, I'm gonna watch people that are 1,000 steps ahead of me because that's where I want to be. It does it negatively impacts me if I watch someone that is not where I want to be. That is like, if I were to switch places with that person, I would be extremely bored. I would be unsatisfied. I would be just like, I wouldn't like my day to day life because that's not where I want to be. So I'm telling you all this in a way to like to where it's important to you to see if you want to make 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month. Are you listening to someone that is making 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, or $30,000 a month? Are you listening to someone? Or the information that you're consuming, the advice that you're getting, is it for someone that you would like to switch places with and live that lifestyle, or to have a company of that size? Right? So there's no right or wrong answer here, but it's definitely like, make sure that the information that you're consuming, the advice that you're getting, is relevant and on point, and like to push you to where you want to be. You can't do, I don't know, a half a million per year business if you're just stuck on like, oh well, I really like that one guy that doesn't want to hire, that wants to work at his garage the entire time, that doesn't want to work more than 40 hours a week, like, so it really makes sense. Let me go back to my notes here real quick, to make sure I am talking on, because I wrote down 3 points here. Okay, so follow people that you strive to be. Okay, I already talked about that. And yeah, so here's another thing. Actually, when it comes to creating YouTube videos and such, I know that's a big deal on, it's the creator economy now, right? There's a lot of creators coming on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, which is great. It's awesome. But there is levels to literally everything. So for me, and I never talk about this just because I don't really care about it. I don't care about labels or like whatever. I really do not care. Like, I've never called myself an entrepreneur. I've never called myself a business owner. I've never called myself a professional detailer. I don't care about labels or anything like that. But I mean, I think I've got this question asked like twice in the last 5 years. But people ask me like, "Hey, do you consider being a detailing business owner an entrepreneur?" And again, like, I do not care about that at all. But for me, right, like for me, just my own little thought process of how I think about that is like, you have a content creator, you have a business owner, you have an entrepreneur, right? So at some point, if you start posting content on YouTube and such, you're probably gonna come to a crosshairs of like, or crossroads of, do I want to be do I want to continue to run a business and be a business owner, meaning most likely just you're going to stay on your own, right? Working on your own. That's what most of us do. But then you can say, or do I want to be a content creator, right? Meaning you can start posting content on YouTube, make money through there if you know how to properly, make videos and get views. And you can kind of not push away, but you're not as worried as making as much money on every vehicle, because if you're going to film it, you're going to get money on the back end through AdSense, through through YouTube ads, or through YouTube, I'm forgetting the word, through ads, getting paid through YouTube, or through affiliate sales, right? So you come to those crossroads of, do I, I can be a business owner and run my detailing business, or I can create content and, I don't have to worry so much about working every single day or making, X amount per vehicle, but I'll make the money here. So it's like, okay, so I can almost do it for little to none, but I'll make all the money through YouTube ads and through affiliate sales, right? So then at that point, you're becoming more of a content creator. And so there's a lot of like deviances that you can go through. So then you can become like, which a lot of YouTubers are. So that's what I get back to. Like, if you watch a YouTube channel that's primarily detailing and they have a big channel, they are not a detailing business. They are a content creator that focuses on detailing, but they're not running a detailing business. They're two separate things. If you're making a lot of money, or money, I don't say a lot of money because that's relative, but if you're making money from YouTube ads and affiliate sales, Do you honestly think that every vehicle that comes through their shop or through their business is a fully paid, like properly priced vehicle? No, of course not. Like if you're gonna like if that vehicle should be 700, but if you get that vehicle, you're able to make in the long run, like maybe you can create like 3 4 videos, whatever, you can make 1,000 from it. Are you really gonna really sweat and say, well, it's supposed to be 700, I'm just gonna let it go? No, because you're gonna be like, oh, it would be good for YouTube, it would be good for content, it would be good for so then it's more of a content creator. And from being a content creator, can you change that and become an entrepreneur off that content creator? Yes. But again, like it comes back to like, but not everyone does, right? So you can be a business owner, you can be a content creator, you can be an entrepreneur, but you really have to understand who you're looking at, what you're consuming, and what it is that they're doing and what it is that you want to do. So for me, I don't care about being a content creator. Again, like I don't care about just like, oh, I just want to post videos. Like I just don't want to do that, right? Like I don't want to be on myself and just detail on my own. I don't just want to be a content creator and just post YouTube videos and just act like I'm running a business or talk about running a business and not actually be running a business. Again, not saying anything, but saying like for me, for personal use. Which is why for me, like when I think about like YouTube or the detailing business, it's all about like how can I keep on growing this? How can I keep on hiring someone? How can I keep on expanding? What can I how much money do I need in order to take us from this to that, right? So but this all comes from I'm looking at these other companies. I'm like, how do they keep on growing then? Like, how are you able to make 100 million in 1 year from starting in your apartment? How are you able to make 20 million? How are you able to hire 50 people to make YouTube videos, right? So that's why I think like this, because it's not like, oh, well, Oscar V's just a crazy thinker and he thinks big and anything no, it's like I'm watching other people because I'm like, man, that's awesome. I like the challenge. I like the growth. I like the big thinking. I like that. I don't care about this small thinking little, just stay by yourself or one person for the rest of your life and the next 15 years. It's just like I don't care about it because the information I'm consuming is completely against that, right? So and there's no right or wrong answer, right? Whether you want to be on your own, grow a big team, make $100 million, I don't know. It's up to you, but there's no right or wrong answer. It's just being clear on like, if you want a big business, if you want a team, if you want to keep on, I don't know, doing whatever you want to do to whatever lengths, you have to be consuming the right information, which is crucial. But what's the quote? You are the average of your 5 people. I don't know, something like that. But it is kind of true in the sense of like on the digital side of like if you're consuming YouTube videos of just everyone that's again like just like-minded like you, where it's like they're just working out of the garage, single person making 110,000 per year and they're fine, it stays there, that will reflect onto you. Like if that's what you're consuming, if that's what you're surrounding yourself with, that's gonna reflect off of you. Now, what if you're listening to people that that all have a 5 million per year business, that have at least 7 employees, that have then you're like it raises the standard across the board. Like just naturally by default, it's gonna raise everyone's standard higher because it's like, wow, like just everyone around me has so much energy. They're doing so much more. Like, not that it's just like it naturally feeds onto you, right? So that's why with me, anytime anyone asks me, because it's not like I don't have a bunch of entrepreneur friends. I don't have other friends that have like big business. Like I don't like. That's why it's so important on what you're consuming online, because that's usually what the only outlet that all of us have as far as like gathering information from other business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever, right? So with me, when anyone asks me like, "Hey, how's your business doing?" I'm always like, "It could be better," or not. It could be better, but I'm like, "It needs to get better." Or when someone asks me on Instagram, it's like, "How much money are you making?" Like, not enough, right? Because like I'm always in every way possible. I'm like, no matter what I'm doing, I can be doing a lot more, right? And not in the sense of like ungratefulness of like, oh, he's never happy, but it's like, no, there's just I know I can reach a bigger goal. Like I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to be like, oh, well, that's good enough. It's like, no, like I would rather go for the big goal. Like I hate not having a bigger goal. I hate not being like, if it's between like being calm and peaceful or like fighting and swinging every day towards a bigger goal, I'd like to choose this camp here. I like to always be swinging and grappling and fighting and doing everything that I can to just budge one little inch further to that bigger goal versus saying, oh yeah, we're on track. Oh yeah, our goal, yeah, it's yeah, we'll reach it, right? Just because like it's not a big goal, it's like, yeah, of course we can. That's pretty easy. like just me based off of the type of information that I consume and what my goals are. I would rather have the no, like I want to keep on pushing. We're fighting. We're going. We're pushing hard. We're trying to reach that next goal because that's just it's just more challenging. It's fun. It's a bigger challenge to go after. And once you accomplish that, you just move the goalpost back. So let me check my notes here one more time. Yeah, so that's gonna wrap up this episode. I just kind of want to give you, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what the main takeaway of it as far as like wow, I wanted to choose this episode. But I mean, I just keep on, like I said, I say it all the time on Instagram and YouTube. Like it really does make a difference on who you listen to. And again, don't get so easily caught of like, oh, I want to run my business like that person. And that person actually isn't really running a true detailing business. It's more of a content creator that focuses on detailing, but they don't really know how to how to run an actual business. And if you ask them, hey, how do you get to 25,000? They're gonna be like, oh well, we make 7,000 right now, right? It's very crucial to understand this. It is very crucial to understand this, right? Because I literally have had people that are on YouTube that have those videos that like how we make 1,200 in one day, making 900 in one day, and they are literally DMing me saying, hey man, how can I grow my business because it's struggling right now? Literally, I have people that get those views, claiming how much they make per day, and then they are DMing me saying, "How do I get more customers? We're going through a rough time right now." You know, the internet can be very deceiving, and not saying that not saying that they never made that much money, but it's just like don't be what the main point I'm getting is don't be so fooled on like they post even with my videos, right? That's why I post we made 700, we made 900, we made 1,200, we made 1,100. But I also post those videos say we have 4 customers rescheduled, we talk to this bad customer, we damage a customer's vehicle, because it's both sides. So I'll end it right here. If you're watching on video on YouTube, you can check the video description below for any links to, I really don't know, the ultimate guide to start your detailing business, the Detail Groove YouTube channel, the Proper Care YouTube channel. That's where I focus 100% on being a detailer. So we talk about how-tos, product reviews, and eventually I want to do challenges on there. If you're listening to this on the audio podcast, then you can just check the show notes and those same links will be there. Hopefully you've enjoyed this podcast episode, and I'll talk to everyone on the next one. Bye-bye.